Now we have got to talk about an awesome game that's just come out, that being Astral Chain for the Nintendo Switch. How's it going everyone? Tazen here, and today I'm going to give you my first thoughts on this incredible Japanese action game and why I'm loving it so much already. So this game was released on August 30th worldwide. It was developed by PlatinumGames and published by Nintendo. It's currently only exclusive for the Nintendo Switch and it may stay that way. Now in terms of this game, oh my god, so many awesome things to say about this. So I'm between the 5 to 10 hour mark of it. And I'm so hooked, I'm so addicted to the combat style. I find it's something that is very much, it's not just a hack and slash. It really requires not just precision timing, but it makes you think a lot. It makes you strategize a lot because there is so much diversity to it. But in terms of the development behind this game, so this is something that apparently was originally intended to be a fantasy game, but ended up sort of getting its roots in sort of the sort of cyberpunk futuristic. It often gives me somewhat of a vibe between something like Psycho Pass and Blade Runner. Really interesting there, and then you fuse it with Tron Legacy or just the Tron universe. It's something great, like the whole neon light aesthetic to it. But the game was directed by Takahisa Tawada, who is making his directorial debut for this game. He was previously the lead game designer for Nier Automata. The game has also been supervised by Hideki Kamiya, who was the creator of the Devil May Cry series, and then after leaving Capcom, he then became the creator of the Bayonetta series. And then lastly, it was also designed artist-wise by Masakazu Katsura, who is a manga artist and also well known for some of things like the Garo series, so the Garo animations here. Fantastic designs just all around. It looks amazing, just everything about this. The colors, the vibrancy. It has a really cool, I'm going to say like an in-between design, somewhat resembling partially Nier Automata and then partially something like Xenoblade Chronicles X. So in my regards, if you sort of find the artistic design somewhere in between there, that's what I feel like you get with Astral Chain, just more so in terms of the character designs and stuff like that. But in terms of the setting, I love the whole futuristic setting to it. And I love the whole setting. Basically, these characters are living on an artificial island called the Ark, about year 2078. And basically humanity has been wiped almost to extinction, a lot of species extinctions and stuff due to something known as the astral plane somehow making contact with our world. Now there's a lot going on with what the astral plane has done to the planet, but basically in this game you learn that there are chimeras that are coming across, these sentient beings from this somewhat, I'm going to say psychedelic digital kind of dimension, and basically you as a character are actually able to harness one of them through technology that allows you to control them. In that case they're not known as a chimera but rather a legion, and you essentially sync up with this legion and you can play both as the character and the legion at the same time. And that's where I find this game really gets technical, because one, you're controlling the character, but two, you're also semi-automated but also controlling the legion at the same time. So it depends on the actions you give that legion and then it will sort of automate those attacks. But still, it's not somewhat like you just let them go off. You still have to be very active, and there's also ways in which you're able to combine your attacks with them depending on your timing. There are also 5 different legions you can choose from, all with their unique styles, some being like a sword one. You got one which is almost like a liger in a sense, and it all changes the way you move, the way you jump, the way you interact. And that's something about this game is, in terms of jumping and stuff like that, it's not something that's natively available to the character, but you can do it using your legion, and this brings in some cool little platforming and puzzle solving like things to the game. Overall, it really gets me hyped for just what's to come, because I'm only just at the point where I'm unlocking skill trees, I'm starting to unlock more of the legions and really diversifying and learning all the different abilities that your legions can do. And you can even change which sort of 2 abilities you like to have equipped with the X and Y button for your legion. Again, it's great. You got passive abilities for them. It works cool because everything works in sort of like a chapter style scene. So you work from this central hub for the Neuron Police Task Force, and that is basically where you then go out to all the different story parts of the game. Now in terms of these chapters, they're called files in the game, and I know that I was quite confused every time file was mentioned sort of in the first part of it, because I wasn't sure if it was referring to the save file or the actual file. But in terms of save files, you do get 2 save files, and what I have done with these save files is actually, in terms of playing as the main character, you're actually playing as one of 2 twins. Now these 2 twins are orphan children of the commander in the game. Now you can either choose the male twin or the female twin, and you can even design sort of how you wish to customize their look. Now, if you take the male twin, then the female twin will sort of be the main side character, supporting role throughout the game, and she will be fully voice acted, and I find her voice acting incredible. And then vice versa, if you actually choose the female character, the male will act as the supporting brother throughout the game, and he will be fully voice acted. However, the character you choose will actually remain as a silent protagonist. So although there is actually a full game of voice dialogue for both the male and female, it's only in the role of the supporting character and not in the role of the main character. That is probably the one gripe I do have with the game. Just personally, I know there are a lot of ways you can tell a story, especially with silent protagonists, and be very effective, you know. There's always that sort of saying, show, don't tell. I find that very important. But something about sort of the sibling relationship, it would be great to see them sort of communicate back and forth as opposed to your character nodding and sort of go and stuff like that. And also I think because of the fact that depending on you choosing a male or female, the voice acting for the supporting character has actually been probably re-dialogued or sort of done in certain scenes a different way to account for it being the male or female. Like in one scene, it was, one character was saying, protect your brother. But obviously I'm assuming if you choose the female character, then someone will be saying protect your sister to the supporting male character. So if, you know, so much work could have been put into basically voice acting both the male and the female as a supporting role throughout. It'd be great if they did that as the main character. But that aside, in terms of the only other gripes that I can think about with this game, I don't really have any actually. I really don't have any. Everything about it, there has so much attention to detail. Even just the loading screens fit in with the story segment traversing through the astral plane and the normal realm. But it's very interesting how the game is hinting at a lot of things that could sort of take you down sort of a mind-bending plot twist, and I like that about games. I like that it keeps you on your feet, but it presents you enough information, at least I hope, that after maybe beating the game, then if I were to go back, I could maybe identify some of these things in terms of what they allude to. That's really great. And then lastly, I just want to point out the music for this is incredible. So the music composer for this game is Satoshi Igarashi, and he was actually the main composer for Bayonetta 2. It's got a really cool style with the music. Also, the music changes depending on the scenes and the setting, and it really has this cool vibe. I like to say it has somewhat of an electronic, a techno vibe, but it also has a bit of rock infused in there too. And I think just the way this sort of all flows with sort of the setting and the action per se really gets me excited. And it's even got music in it that I could just sit there and just listen to, just on a loop, especially even the opening. It almost felt like I was listening to something from Tron Legacy or Blade Runner 2049. Just phenomenal. But anyways, I'll leave it at that in terms of my thoughts on the game. But I do want to actually show you that the Astral Chain Collector's Edition did come out too, and this is beautiful. I really love this. I really love the attention to detail in terms of what's in this. So firstly, obviously, it's got the Collector's Edition cover box. I will show you the back of it just too here quickly there, so that's really cool there. And the goodies. So one, the actual game that comes with the Collector's Edition does not have the classification logo on the front, so you've essentially got the full artwork there. And on the inside, you have this really cool reversible sort of cover, or basically more of an inside cover to look at. Then second to that, you've got the actual sound selection CD. What I love about this sound selection CD is it comes with 31 different tracks. And sound selection CDs, I usually think maybe you're going to get 10, maybe 15 at the most. To get 31, I think that's pretty amazing there. Then next we've got a Shikashi artboard. So this is usually considered square Japanese artwork, and it's got this sort of gold etching around it. This was done by Masakazu Katsura. It's limited numbers, so it had 23,010 printed. Mine is number 7,562. And then it's got obviously a printed signature from Takisa Tauda, the director, Hideki Kamiya, the supervisor, and Masakazu Katsura, the artist. And then lastly, going on to art, I should say, it's got this awesome art book. So it's also got a cover slip to it. And this art book is massive. Like, it's actually got some weight to it. It's got a lot of really cool concept designs. It's got a lot of stuff also at the back that's more, I'm going to say spoiler related, but I sort of stopped myself before I could get too far into it, because that's something I really love to sort of go into more in depth after I've beaten the game. And I may even appreciate a lot more because I've been able to see some of the things in games, and I can see how they've maybe changed certain things. But looking at sort of the concept art for the characters too, oh, it looks really good. It almost, also I should say, gives me somewhat of a Xenosaga sort of vibe too. But I guess maybe Xenosaga Zone of the End, there's something there. But there's a lot of inspiration I could see for this game. all brought together in its own unique style, and I think that is something that I think is great, taking inspiration and then making it your own in terms of what you do with the game and the story especially. So anyways, I'll leave it at that. Let me know your thoughts below. Have you played this game yet? And if not, are you excited to get it? I know it's topped up on the #1 sales charts in UK, and also it's sold out over a lot of places, that's for sure. So hopefully you do get it if you are looking for it, and you know, maybe hopefully you might even get for a good price if you're sort of on the fence and you wish to maybe wait a bit for a special. But regardless, I definitely recommend this is a game worth trying, and one I'm very excited to play more of. So anyways, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and until next video, stay spot on.